It's the big show at Southern Ontario's favorites, LITE 92. Michael Bublé saved the last dance for me. And I want to say hi to Rocki and Mena, who are on the line with me this morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
We're great. Thanks so much for having us.
You are Maimone Legal. And for the first thing I want to do is thank you so much for helping to sponsor Ed Sheeran in Switzerland. It's one of those really exciting light radio adventure contests, and you have made it possible for us to do this. So thank you so much for being on board with that. I want to start with you, though, Rocki. What can you tell us about your journey? I understand you're from Canada, right?
That's correct, yeah.
And your journey from Canada to the U.S. and what motivated you to start Maimone Legal, and also, of course, the website movetotheusa.ca.
Absolutely. Thanks again for having us. I'm born and raised in Canada, grew up in the Caledon area. And about 7 years ago, my daughter and I, who's with me today, decided to just go on a friendly girls' trip to South Florida. Fell in love, and I just had a feeling in my heart that I needed to be here. Obviously, the palm trees and the ocean helped in that decision. Yep. I returned back to Canada from that trip and started looking at, potentially just getting a second home. And that led me down the real estate path, which I've always had a passion for. And I started looking at the cost of properties, to live in, what type of return on investment for investment properties. And I was shocked at the return and how far my dollar could go. I looked at the tax structures and I was done. I said, I have to go try living there. So the next part of it was, well, how do I do that? Because growing up in Canada, it was always well known that it's impossible to move to the U.S. So I started looking at it and realized that it's not as difficult as I once thought. And I explored the path, interviewed a bunch of different lawyers to really understand what my options were. And then we decided to go with an E2 visa. And we moved down to South Florida. My daughter, Mena, was attending law school here in South Florida. And she was, working in immigration. I guess it tugged on her heartstrings, basically, because we knew firsthand what that was all about.
Sure.
And decided to pursue immigration law. And one day she came up to me and said, "Mom, I need to start my own firm." And I said, "Okay." She said, "I know we can do a fantastic job helping fellow Canadians and helping them to make the journey to move the way that we did, because our experience wasn't so wonderful."
Wow.
And I said, "Okay, let's do it." So that's when Maimone Legal was born. We started with immigration services. Then we realized that our clients needed estate planning as well. A lot of our clients are also buying and selling businesses, so we introduced a business part. And I'd say 90% of our clients are fellow Canadians who love our services because we've been through it and we know exactly how to help them from start to finish.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring Mena into this conversation. Mena, first of all, lovely name. I love the name, Mena.
Thank you.
What is an E2 visa, and how has it impacted your own experience when it comes to moving to the U.S.?
Sure. I just want to say I love when my mom tells that story, first of all.
Thanks, Mena.
No problem. So, sure, the E2 is quite simple. It's an investor visa, and you can get this visa with an existing business, a startup, a franchise, whatever you choose in any industry. And the perks of it is that you are, as the principal applicant, you're able to work for your business, you're able to live in the United States, you're able to take your spouse and kids with you, but the best part is that your spouse gets an open work permit, meaning they can work for any U.S. company, and your kids can join you and go to school.
Wow.
So, yeah, the visa is good for 5 years. You can renew it for 2-year increments after that. So essentially, as long as the business is around and doing well, you can continue to renew that visa. One of the cool things that we offer that a lot of attorneys do not is that we have a 100% approval rate. And for that reason, we're offering a money-back guarantee on the attorney fees. So there's really little to no risk for you. If you want to learn more about it, visit us at movetotheusa.ca. And we also have a really cool community Facebook group, Canadians Moving to Florida and the USA, if you want to engage with us and other Canadians looking to do the same thing.
That's a Facebook group?
It is,
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Back to you, Rocki, for a second. As far as specific services go from Maimone Legal, say if there are people who are anticipating navigating or maybe have already begun navigating the immigration process and seeing how difficult it is, what kind of specific services do you offer?
Well, we like to say that we're the one-stop shop because we don't just do your immigration legal work. We help you navigate everything else. So what does everything else look like? Well, Rocki, what do I do for healthcare? It took me 2 years to figure that out when we came down.
Yeah, I'll bet.
So we've got trusted professionals that work with us and have worked with clients. We can do everything from helping you navigate healthcare. How do I get a mortgage for a home? Where do I go for real estate help? What about, I'm going to do an E2 visa, but how do I find a business? So we're connected with North America's largest business brokerage. We work hand in hand with them to assist clients. Cross-border tax, accounting, you name it, John, everything that you can imagine you're going to need to know, we've got it lined up for you.
I'm guessing that some of your clients end up being friends with all of this.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I just went shopping with one on Sunday.
And it's very cool.
One day we had a barbecue party here and, had a few people over. And one of my friends was floating in the pool with me. And I said, who knew that it all started from your inquiry at MaimoneLegal.com?
No
Here
kidding.
we are.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And our Facebook group has almost 71,000 Canadians on there, and we're looking to do social events and perhaps a festival in the new year, really bringing everyone together from all over Canada who've made Florida their home. We also do Texas and other states as well.
Oh, cool. Okay, so Mena, some of the common challenges that people would face when immigrating to the U.S., how does Maimone Legal help overcome the obstacles?
Yeah, this is much related to what my mom, Rocki, was talking about. I think a lot of Canadians, when they move down, they don't know where to start, right? It's a new country. They're not quite sure, where do I go for this service? Where do I go for that? So that was really the idea of us creating a one-stop shop. So for our clients to be able to come to us for pretty much anything, I think that really, really helps them. They're often confused. And so if we can kind of put the pieces together for them and point them in the right direction and point them to professionals that we know are good, that really, really helps them in their journey. So I think that's the number one thing. And then a lot of things that a lot of the time people think that, like my mom mentioned as well, is that it's impossible to make the move. And it's really not. If you just follow the three required elements of the E2, we help you through that process. We get everything done for you. You can be down in the U.S. in 3 to 6 months. So a lot of people don't realize that, and it's totally doable.
Oh, I'm pretty sure almost no one realizes that, because as a person who's been in Canada for over 60 years, the only thing I've ever heard was, oh, you got to get a green card before you can do that. So clearly that's not the answer, right?
No, and there's other...
so many options.
Yeah, there are other solutions as well. There's family-based sponsorship. We offer complimentary 20-minute calls. If you go on our website, movetotheusa.ca, you can book yourself in for a complimentary call, speak to one of our staff, and have all your questions answered, so you'll know what options are available to you if you're looking to make the move.
Mena and Rocki, thank you so much for doing this morning. It's I think it really creates a real positive vibe for people who have thought about it and thought it was impossible to hear this information this morning. So thank you for that information. MoveToTheUSA.ca once again is the website, and Maimone Legal is the name of your company. You're based in Fort Lauderdale, right?
That's right.
Correct.
And I'm glad that you came through the storm system with no problems, because that's all we hear about, of course, when these things start on the Atlantic coast. So
yeah, we did okay, thank God.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for this morning, and hope we get a chance to speak again.
Thank you, John.
So
thank you
John.
to all your listeners, and we look forward to connecting with many of you. Please join our group, Canadians Moving to Florida and the USA. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, and find it on Facebook. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
The Big Show.
The best start to my day.
With LITE 92.